Canada has one of the highest rates of multiple sclerosis in the world, with an estimated 94,000 Canadians affected by the illness. According to the Multiple Sclerosis Society of Canada, on average, 11 Canadians will be diagnosed every day with this chronic, lifelong disease. Since 1950, the MS Society of Canada has had a presence here on the prairies, and in Manitoba, there was a specific chapter that was formed in 1980 to help deal with the extremely high rates of MS here in the province. The MS Society funds research and awareness about the disease. It also helps MS patients with all facets of living with this chronic, life-changing illness, whether it be physical or occupational therapy, the use of devices such as a walker or cane, etc., or just basic help with coping with the disease. In the month of February, the MS Society is having a MS Read-a-thon to encourage children to read while at the same time raising money for this worthwhile cause. Here to tell us more about the MS Readathon is MS advocate Lori Kemp. Hi, Lori. It's so nice to meet you and see you here on Zoom.
Hi, it's nice to meet you too.
Okay, so for you and for all of our Classic 107 listeners, I'm just going to put it out there on Front Street. I myself was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2009. And so whenever I meet somebody else who has MS, I always sort of feel like I'm meeting somebody who's part of my fraternity or brotherhood, albeit whatever strange one that is. So it is nice to have an opportunity to chat with somebody who suffers with the disease.
Yeah, for sure. I feel the same. It's like you're part of this club where you have an understanding of what the other people are going through.
Mm-hmm. I thought we could start out by maybe could you just tell us what MS is?
Okay, so MS is a disease of the nervous system. Basically, it's demyelination of the nerves. And with that, people get all kinds of different symptoms that present in different ways. There are different kinds of MS. There's primary progressive, there's secondary progressive, and relapsing remitting. Most people fall into the relapsing remitting category initially. It's a disease that presents in so many different ways for so many different people. I'm sure my symptoms are very different than yours, and yours are probably different than the next person's as well.
Mm-hmm. So can you maybe tell us about the symptoms that you suffer from MS and tell us a little bit about the journey of how you found out you had the disease?
Yeah, so my first symptom, like I said, they can be so different for everybody, and everybody presents with different symptoms. Mine initially was loss of vision in my left eye. So that's a pretty tough one to ignore. It basically sort of went down like a blind over the course of a few days. I lost my peripheral first and then lost the rest of my vision. So that vision, I ended up having an MRI, seeing doctors. That was when we knew that there was a chance that it was MS, but we didn't know that that's for sure what it was. So, I have been lucky. I've been relatively healthy. I haven't had a lot of other symptoms other than it was probably about another 8 years or so. I had at that time been diagnosed just through MRIs. So they saw lesions eventually on the MRIs, and then they saw lesions at different spots on the MRIs, and they were ready to call it that, yes, it was definitely MS, even though I hadn't experienced other symptoms. I did get another relapse where I lost the feeling from my rib cage down to my toes on my left side. So that was sort of the second big one that was, it's pretty easy to go on with your day and sort of ignore some of the symptoms. But when you have a big one like that, it's tough to ignore. So basically that was my second big relapse. I have other little tiny things. My medication, I believe, gives me headaches. I have some ringing in my ears at night, things that aren't visible. So sometimes it's hard to explain to people that you are suffering from different ailments because people can't always see it. To me, to them, you look fine, right? So they don't think that there's anything going on.
Yeah, that's right. So what you're talking about with the blindness in the one eye is what, according to the MS Society, it's called optical neuritis. So
Yes.
yeah, the nerves go to the eye, and then it's basically the nerves are cut off. I know for myself, I had tingling in my legs and in my arm, and I didn't feel right, and that was the first sign that it happened. And then I woke up one morning in 2009 and couldn't move my legs, which was frightening, and then spent the next 3 weeks in hospital on high doses of prednisone to bring down the lesion and the swelling, because it's not just a disease of the brain. It's a disease of the spinal cord.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is one of the reasons, I guess, why it presents in so many different ways with so many different people. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. And we were just discussing, before that we've both had MRIs on both our brain and our spinal cord because they do look for lesions on both.
Yeah, and for those listeners out there, the lesion shows up on the MRI as a white spot. Sclerosis means scar tissue. So it means that some of the nerve endings have been damaged, and the lesions will show up on the MRI as, well, white. That's
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I have my cousin is my eye doctor, and so we're able to actually scan my eye, and we can see the damage to the optic nerve. So the optic nerves are the biggest nerves in your body, I believe. I'm not a medical expert, but I think they are. And you can see. So a lot of people that have optic neuritis, your vision will return to 100%. Mine, in my situation, somehow there was damage to the nerve, and yeah, it's interesting that we can see it on a scan.
right. Manitoba has one of the highest rates of MS in the country, and considering Canada has a high rate as it is, um, can you talk a little bit about that? Do you know some of the background behind that?
Yeah, so I know that the MS Society was saying that they are looking at stats through Canada right now, not necessarily province specific. They haven't done that in a few years, so they feel that those might be a little bit out of date. Definitely, the prairies, for whatever reason, do have a higher incidence. So in Canada, they are looking at Canada as a whole versus other countries in the world, and definitely Canada does have one of the highest rates, if not the highest rate of MS. So yeah, definitely it is an issue that affects Canadians, right across the provinces. Definitely, Manitoba, I know that the incidence here is quite high.
Mhm. Um, I want to talk about the readathon that is going on until the end of February. Is this the first year that the MS Society has done a readathon?
So apparently they did the readathon way back in the day. They did it, decades and decades ago. It used to be a big fundraiser. I can vaguely remember it from when I was little. So they haven't done it in a number of years, but they've decided to bring it back this year. So they thought it would be a great way to get kids, to inspire children to get involved. Classrooms can get involved. Teachers can sign their classes up. Families can get involved. So they've decided to bring it back this year. But yeah, it's the first time in, I think, about 40 years or so that it's back.
Wow. So how does it work? Is the
So
next question.
basically, all you have to do is go to the Readathon website, and you can sign up. You can sign yourself up. Adults can sign up. Obviously, kids can sign up. So I have 3 kids. My oldest is in university, so he's quite busy and reading enough. He's not signed up, but my little 2 did sign up, and I've signed up as well. So yeah, you can go to the website. It's free to sign up for. There's no cost to it. There's no minimum for fundraising. So the kids and any adults that want to sign up can sign up. And yeah, it's free to sign up.
So is it a little bit like the MS Walk, and which I'm familiar with, where you register and then you get your friends and family to sort of sponsor you as a reader? Is that how it works?
Yep, that's exactly it. So you can sign up as an individual, you can sign up as a team. I think definitely the campaign is geared towards getting kids involved with it. But again, there's nothing stopping from an adult getting involved in it. You can make a team, you can sign up as an individual, and then yeah, any funds raised will go towards support just the MS Society in general. The MS Society basically raises money to support critical MS research services dedicated to achieving, to helping people who have MS, and services for them and their families.
Hmm. So I was on the Readathon website, and apparently teachers can register their class in the Readathon as well.
Yes, definitely. So that's something that they would encourage. If there's any teachers out there that are listening that would like to register their class, they can feel free to do that. I found it pretty easy to register myself. It's the website is msreadathon.ca. You go on there and it basically will ask, are you registering a class? Are you registering as an individual? Are you a child? Are you an adult? It walks you through it. It's quite easy I found it quite easy to do.
And it's not too late, right? The Readathon goes right up until February 28th,
Yeah,
correct?
so actually they've just announced they've changed the date. So it was originally going to be just for the month of February, and they've actually extended the campaign to March 20th.
Oh,
So yeah,
wow.
there's a ton of time. And again, there's no minimum required. They're encouraging the kids to read as much as they can. The great thing about it is, I think right now when we're all in various degrees of lockdown, everybody's probably on screen time and watching a little bit too much Netflix. So, it's good to encourage the kids to do something different. The kids can actually list out on the website the books that they've read. So, if you're a younger child and you can read a book or two a day and list them out there, it's encouraging for them to be able to keep track of their progress. And yeah, it's going for another month, so up to March 20th, 2001.
So as the kids are reading, they can get their friends and family to donate to the causes as well. It's to sort of sponsor them, as it were.
Definitely, yeah. So they can send the link out, they can email, they can let people know, verbally, however they can, that they can be sponsored for that. So, and yeah, definitely people can go on there and make donations, and that money raised goes to the MS Society.
Oh, wonderful. Lori, maybe just can you give us one more time the website address for the readathon?
Yeah, so the Readathon website is msreadathon.ca.
Oh, that's wonderful. Laurie, it's been just so great to talk to you and talk to somebody else who has MS. It just sounds like a wonderful fundraiser, and the fact that they've extended it to March 20th just makes it all the better. Gives
Yeah,
longer for more money to be raised, and
exactly.
kids can have more time to read the books that they want.
Yes,
Sounds great.
definitely. The biggest thing for myself, I know one of the things that gives me comfort is knowing that money raised goes towards research, and that research is such a big thing for me because it gives me hope. So
Right.
that's a big one for me. I always say raising money gives us hope that there will one day be a cure.
Absolutely. I'm with you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
you're very welcome. It was nice to talk to you.
And nice to talk to you.